would be. Look who it is. Seems like it's been forever since we just sat down and talked guns. And now is an opportune time. This is my CZ75 P-01 in the before phase. Before what? Before. Let me tell you why it's in a before phase. First of all, hit that camera real quick to show you there's nothing in this pistol. It's a good gun, right? It's accurate, it's comfortable, it's my everyday carry. Carry it typically in a remoral holster. Works just fine. A little thick, right, for an everyday carry after coming off of my Springfield XDS or even a 1911. It's a little bit girthy, but that's okay. It's a fantastic pistol to shoot for the most part. One thing though is that I'm not in love with the trigger. It's functional and I'm accurate with it, so I mean, really, what does it matter? I think I can be more accurate, faster, with a little bit better trigger. And let me show you what's going on here. First of all, I've got it in the decock position, right, which is realistic. I mean, I could start here, but that never happens in the wild, so it's kind of pointless to do that. Although using this will illustrate, I guess, probably in a little bit greater detail some of the problems I'm having. Still, let's go with what we know. Double action from the decocked hammer. Okay, watch this trigger pull. I'm going to pull slow and steady like I would if I were, really focusing on marksmanship. And I want you to just pay attention to what happens to that trigger. First of all, see how grainy and stagey that was? It's strengthy too. I mean, it's not a pull for the lighthearted. It's a hard pull. I've seen people say by stock these things come at like 10 to 12 pounds, and I don't disbelieve it. It's not hard to imagine. Single action isn't bad at all, but it's weird. First you get a lot of take up, and then there's this staging the sear on the hammer portion that happens, which is kind of wild. Let's just try, see if you can see it. Okay. So what you saw was me. I didn't actually send the hammer home. I didn't break it. But what you see is what you saw was me staging the sear on the hammer, and I'm pretty sure that's exactly what it is. The reason being is it doesn't happen if you've already done it once. If you staged it all the way to the break, it doesn't happen again unless you work the action. So let me see what goes on here. Let's try it one more time. Okay, now it's starting to break. Yeah. And so, like I said, if you're shooting under pressure, it's nothing. It's a probably 6 pound or so single action trigger, which is a little bit heavier than I like too. So I thought, wouldn't it be neat if this were like one of my better double action, single action triggers? Let's set this aside. For example, ta-da, the SIG P-0226. This one has the short reset trigger. I guess I should show you that it's clear, right? I think I just covered something. Wow, it's dirty, but it's clear. I have not cleaned it since the last range visit. But one thing that I want to show you is just how buttery smooth. I mean, even though it's still probably in the 8 to 10 pound range on this trigger in double action, it's just so damn smooth. It's just buttery. Right, and the single action is great too. I mean, there's a little bit of take up, obviously, but then you take up straight to the break, and then bam, there's nothing after the take up. Just break, 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 break. It's great. It's a great trigger. And the CZ just isn't in the same category, right? That CZ is just not in the same category, and that's okay because it's about half the price, right? So I mean, it would be a little unfair of me to expect it to be the same kind of trigger. However, I'm fairly certain that it can get there because, you see here, is my CZ75 SP-01 Shadow Custom. And This trigger is amazing. And I've said it before, right? I mean, I compared the two short reset trigger systems, and it is an amazing, amazing trigger. God, it's so good. So, and that's another thing I should probably show you is the reset real quick. Because I'm going to change all this. The intention is to change absolutely all of this. All right, here's the reset. What's interesting about the reset is at first it's still very grainy and stagey, right? And then it pops. But when it pops, it doesn't pop right at the break point. Like it breaks, kicks you out a little bit, and then there's that take up again. So let's try that one more time. Easing out, and it's just sort of staging itself, and then pop. So it takes a lot of work to just like pause the pistol, right? Let me focus on trying to do that. And then, okay, so you just heard a break, right? Still take up. So I thought I'd like to get that fixed. This is my everyday carry, and I'd like the trigger to be just a little bit smoother, really, more than anything. But also, if I could get the reset shorter, if I could get, if I could get the behavior of this trigger to at least more closely resemble the trigger in my Shadow Custom, without being anywhere, it doesn't have to be as light, obviously. I don't want it as light as that trigger. But certainly double action, a good 6 to 8 pound double action would be a nice change too. People who have CZs know three places that are just kind of world renowned for their ability to, at least here in the States, to transform a CZ. And one of those is the CZ Custom Shop. That's who did my Shadow Custom. Phenomenal work there. Another one is Automatic Accuracy. Matt Minks runs his gunsmithing there, and supposedly great work. Everyone who goes to him is pretty happy. Then there's also the Cajun Gunworks, and the difference with Cajun Gunworks between the other two is that they'll send you the parts and let you do it yourself. So I went ahead and picked up a ring hammer, a new race hammer with the ring, some heat-treated hammer pins, Type 2 disconnector, and a short reset system, which has your springs and your firing pin. A lot of goodies. I'm going to try and do this myself. So this is the before video. I'll be back after I go find a Dremel polishing wheel and some metal polish, and try to take some shots along the way as I'm doing it, so you can see for yourself the changes that I made physically to the gun. And then when we're done, come back in here and we'll recap. All right. Looking forward to that conversation. And I'm not looking forward to any of the frustration that's going to happen between. I'm sure there's going to be a little bit. But this is my first time doing this. So thanks for accompanying me in this journey, and I appreciate your support and moral support. And any feedback that you have is great too. Otherwise, talk to you soon. Shoot often. Shoot safe.